What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Black Guy Senpai. We are back. I have two special friends with me today. I have Stand Up Surya,
How's it going, guys?
and I have my friend who is the only zoo person, any type of expert that I know of, Duke.
Howdy, folks.
All right, so everybody, by now, overdress is out. There's plenty of people where you can watch and see what the changes were. Solemn Vanguard, different fight, uh, a bunch of other people. So we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about potentially what this means for us as a player base and how we can potentially go from here, get new players, what effects we think it's going to have on just the community in general. So, guys, you want to start it off? How do you feel about this?
For overdress, I like it a lot because it fixes a lot of the biggest problems. Like me and Vanguard Ocean were talking about this on the podcast that we just did recently for standard V premium until those formats kind of got jiggled. Um, but anyways, we were talking about how the gifts were such a bad idea outside of normal ride. And so we're glad that it's gone now for standard. So if we want to play in there, we don't have to worry about gifts. Hopefully things will be more fair and balanced now. I've heard that we're getting a rotation. Bushiroad hasn't put any specifics out of what the rotation is going to look like yet. So I'm still holding off on that. And the thing that's got me most excited for the game is we get to mix clans and build decks as one nation. And so Aquaforce always kind of had a problem where sometimes you wouldn't have draw advantage, and with Thavis we did get like basically just about everything that we needed, just not everything we wanted. But anyways, being able to mesh Aquaforce, Grand Blue, and then Mega Colony, Great Nature, and Neo Nectar all in one nation is going to open up so much possibilities for not only Aquaforce but all the other clans in Zoo Nation as well. Like if we get a Grand Blue type card with the new ride mechanic where we can't brick, if you brick and you can't discard something and you have a Grand Blue type effect that activates in the drop zone, now you can discard ride guaranteed and then be able to activate that effect if it's in the drop zone. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out because we only have certain decks right now. Like we only have the 5 starter decks, so we don't know what we're going to get right away. The way that I think they're going to do it is we're going to get one clan kind of at a time, and there's going to be like different arcs based on those clans, and so you'll be able to mix like with different clans within that nation to make different decks. And so overall, I think overdress is going to do great. The thing that worries me the most is that local stores are going to look at this and they're going to be very mad because the last reboot cost them a lot of money, and now those stores have to turn around and be like, are you kidding me? I have all these V cards now and nobody wants to play V. I can still technically sell them and I can still sell them for premium, but my locals doesn't have very many premium players. What am I supposed to do with all these old cards now except for sit on them or try and sell them and make like some of my money back if I can make any at all? And I think that's going to turn some local stores away, and hopefully this does fix the game to the point where local stores will trust Bushiroad. But I feel like they need to do something to let those local stores know that, look, we're not going to do the same thing again. We're not going to screw you over. We're going to show you that we actually give a crap, and we're here to work with you and to work around you and not the other way around.
All right, yeah, all definitely solid points. I agree with most of like I agree with like 99.8% of what you said. Um, but yeah, like that's yeah, pretty solid opening. So are you, Duke?
I mean, I like where it's overdress is going. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I do like the meshing with everything. It's going to be nice for because I main Mega Colony, so it's going to be nice to have like these Aquaforce and Grand Blue units, Neo Nectar, and what's the other one?
Bugs.
Great Nature.
Yeah.
Great Nature to mix around with potential effects to go into Mega Colony and make the deck more powerful. a lot of points that sorry you brought up are points that I agree with as well. And yeah, it's going to suck that stores are going to sit on V cards that might not move, but that's the way that all card games are. You're going to get a stock in, and eventually those cards are going to fall out of favor, and they'll sit there. But somebody down the line is going to eventually buy those cards, whether they have value or not.
Yeah, and I agree with that as well because like a lot of people, if you go on Facebook right now, you're gonna see like it's basically like everybody's house is on fire. They're all trying to put it out. They're all trying to get money. Like I talked to a couple of my vendor friends, and they're like they said that they bought so many emergency quitting sales or just I want to prepare and like not be stuck with my stuff. They're buying it for 20 or 30% of what it's worth. Like one of my friends, one of my personally good friends, he has he has, I believe, he has Gurgwit. He has a max rarityed out deck. I forgot which one it is because he had two and he sold one. One of them was Kagero. The other one was a Grand Blue deck, and it was max rarity. Like there is literally everything in there that you could dream of. And he got offered 480 and he took it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like my Aquaforce, like just the SPs alone are $300, and I'm like, somebody offered me 150 for it this morning, and I'm like, no, thank you, because one, there's gonna be two formats where those cards are still good. I don't think people should be, stressed by or stress selling, just because.
Yeah.
Because of this, there's two formats where it's going to be good, and those cards are still going to be good cards in those formats. Will all three be supported? No, I don't think so. Because we had this when V era first started up. We had the G era where it was strictly just G era cards. We had Premium, which was everything, and then we had V era, which was just standard. And then eventually the G era after 5 months got dropped off. But hey, that's just the nature of it. Like. They're saying they're going to support the V era for like twice a year, so I'm willing to wait to see what happens, because no matter what, cards are going to go back up, and when people stop getting desperate to sell cards, that's when I want to try to sell my cards again. But yeah, as far as like overall with overdress, one, I like that there are clan mergers, and basically we're on a color system now instead of having clans. I don't like the fact that I can't pronounce the one for Aquaforce. I'm just gonna call it wet furries until I learn how to pronounce that. I don't know if it's a German or a Ukrainian or a Australian word. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I like what it's doing because like the start decks are gonna be cheap. They're like $3 to $5. And you get
a playset of everything.
Yeah, and you get a playset of everything in there. So that to me is really nice. But with that being said, how do you guys feel about the separation of or the combining of clans, like everybody Voltroning up?
I think it's a great idea. So at first I was like super hyped and super excited, and after I got like thinking about it more, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And as long as they don't undership things and they give us like maybe 2 clans at a time for that nation, we should be okay, as long as they don't overload us with so many cards in a set that it becomes somewhat like Digimon is right now, where if you want to open boxes, it's like crazy, because like even though you're getting pretty decent pull rates, like there's so many colors in it, right? And like I just really hope that they split things. I have heard that we're going to get extra boosters for just nations as well. Ooh. So if that's true, that'll really help out a lot.
Okay, yeah. Like I didn't hear about the extra boosters for nations.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that either.
Yeah,
but I am excited to mix clans, because the ability just to have where we can mix with 2 nations and no other clan outside of people who play Zoo and Magelinsa outside of Bermuda. And just by the way, before I continue, Bermuda, you deserve to be in your own nation. You're too broken. You don't deserve to mix with anything. I'm happy that you are shunned from the rest of the nations on the planet Cray. And
Gize made sure to do something right before he died.
Oh, Jesus.
exactly. And the thing that makes me laugh so hard is the Bermuda Triangle's nation is on the back of a whale.
I mean, you had to be a whale to play Bermuda Triangle anyway. I find
But
it interesting.
anyways, being able to mix makes everything so much better. And I feel like builds might be linear eventually once we get competitive. Like as long as the builds can be different and still be competitive, that would be great. I don't want to see it get to the point where only one build's going to be massively competitive, because if you have 6 to 5 clans in different nations, you should be able to have like at least like 2 or 3 competitive decks within that are about the same level. I mean, obviously in card games, you're always going to have like one deck that's like the best out of its thing.
Yeah.
So there will probably be that. But I'm thinking that because we have so many combinations, we're going to get at least like 2 competitive decks from each nation.
With the combination of the nations and all that, I feel like that there shouldn't be one deck that is identical to the other at this point with the nation mixing. Every clan should definitely be unique and different in every way. And every topping build is going to have something different, and that's what I'm hoping for out of this.
I mean, I agree, but in the first set where they're supporting all, 6 nations that we have, with the exception of Bermuda Triangle and Token Ranbu. By the way, Token Ranbu is coming back. I don't know how they're going to do it. Also, the Keter Sanctuary, their flag looks baller. I hate our Wet Furries flag. Brent Gate flag
I actually like it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on Duke's side.
What?
I actually like it. It's unique and different from the rest. It doesn't look like. I don't get me wrong. I like the other ones, but the Zoo Nation one just pops out more when I look at the clans.
No, so you see on the far right side of that flag, you see those water drops? Those aren't water drops. Those are tears from all the Aquaforce players. That's what that is.
Yeah, well, that's just you suffering, and we're all used to you suffering in some way, shape, or form.
I know.
We're Aquaforce players. We're used to suffering. It's a lifestyle.
But yeah, so for those of you who do not know, Magellanica got split up between the 3 clans. Aquaforce and Grand Blue went to the Zoo Nation and made Wet Furries and Bermuda Triangle.
Stoichka, I think it is.
Yeah.
Stoichka?
I don't know. But
one day we'll pronounce that right.
Yeah,
it is
one
not
day.
Today.
Yeah, today is not that day. But yeah, Magellanica got split up, and everybody else got to stay with their families, because United Sanctuary definitely did not need any more. When they said they were combining nations, I thought the Dragon Empire and United Sanctuary were going to merge again, because I used to be kind of like a lore nut for Vanguard. And I thought they were going to do that again, but it's okay if they didn't. It was the United, or it was like the Dragon Sanctuary, I think it was. Man,
Dragon Empire?
Yeah, the Dragon Empire and United Sanctuary.
Dragon Empire has been renamed to Dragon Empire.
Yeah, they're like
that was funny.
they're like, oh hey guys, let's come up with a team name. These guys have all weird names. You know what we're gonna do? Nothing. We're gonna stay the same. All right.
It's like, I own Cray, bitch. I can be whatever I want.
Oh god. But Brentgate, I like it. It just sounds cool. Dark States, it looks cool, except for the spike stuff. But yeah, like I gotta get used to not saying clans, and I gotta get used to saying either like colors or nations.
That's understandable, but at the same time, it is fair to say clan, especially if you're a premium player.
Well, yeah.
Like me, I will forever be a premium player, so I'll always say Mega Colony.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way, I'm just going to say it. Now, if I was to do the D era, obviously I would try and say I just go Zoo Nation. I just say Zoo Nation. I'm not going to bother. If I can't pronounce this damn name, I'm not going to bother. I'll just say Zoo Nation.
All right. So that kind of leads into my next question. Are you guys going to play with a D as well? The D
Heck
era?
yeah. 100%. I'm wholly into it. if it is a rotation, I hope it's like a 6-month rotation so that like at least like you can plan around it.
Mhm.
But I am very excited. Like just the fact that gifts are gone. We're getting like based on what we've seen from the cards, they look pretty balanced. We haven't seen any effects yet, so I can't 100% guarantee that. But just based on everything that they've done, it looks a lot better going in. Now, the one of trigger has me a little worried, the over trigger, but it is just a one of. But if any card can kind of break that, then that could become a problem. So as long as Bushiroad doesn't make a card that can abuse the one of trigger, then in general, it's not going to be that bad, but it is going to be kind of annoying to just randomly lose to it sometimes.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Duke was telling me about is that somebody saw that, I think you were saying the card from the trial deck was a 5K guard. So we might potentially be going back to lower guards, like an OG Vanguard. And that would be the best for me. And not even just that, but because we can mix from nations and the whole lore has got me back in to wanting to do this. And then the fact that Void is coming back to Cray, I am totally invested. I'm like so hyped for this right now. And I just know just by looking at it that even if it does hurt at first, it's going to be better in the long run because rotation will get rid of the power creep. Even if it stings like a bitch, at least it's going to be better in the long run because if they power creep something and it's really bad, it's gone after a few months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still, rotation, rotation. I'm kind of iffy on. Like, long as it doesn't make stuff obsolete. Like, if they do rotation like
Yeah.
Magic,
That's what I don't want to see happen.
yeah, if they do it like Magic does, where they still reprint cards, because everything, the highest rarity we're gonna have is triple rare, and then the DSRs, which is just a full art version of whatever the card is. That's what we're gonna have now. No more VRs, no more GRs, SGRs, SPs.
What about
nothing like that.
SGs?
Yeah, no SPs. Only thing we have is triple rare and below. So it's gonna make things a lot more
Well,
affordable.
I don't know if you guys heard of it, but commons and rares have a chance to be special.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they get a chance to become hollow. That's
which is
but
really nice.
it's not
And the cool
necessary
thing
though. It's not necessary.
They said on their thing that they showed that you have a chance of getting a DSR for every pack, or there's one in every pack, I believe it is.
I think it's every box.
Because like that's extremely great that they allow you to do that. Like
Yeah.
that's just awesome.
So I was just thinking about this real quick. With the boss units, will we still have 12K bodies, or will they all be 13Ks? Because you have Aquaforce and Grand Blue coming over to Zoo Nation, and everything in there is all 12K bodies, except for Neo Nectar, which is a Force clan. So I'm curious of how they're going to interpret the boss unit's powers.
I think we're gonna have. I think it's gonna be like all evened out. It's all gonna be the same numbers, like it was on the original Vanguard. That's what I think, and that's what I hope anyway.
Yeah, it says each booster will have one rare, ultra valuable card.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I mean, this is still good though. Like overall, I think overdress is gonna be great. Worst case scenario, you buy into overdress, you spend $5 on the trial deck, and you don't like it. You spent $5. You do that like buying a card or doing something else or getting food from McDonald's or whatever it is that you want to eat. I think overdress is going to be good. I think people need to give it a chance. Don't panic sell everything, and yeah, like it's going to be a-okay. I think we're going to be in good hands. This guy was part of the team that did what game was that? I can't think of the name. Duke, sorry, either you know?
What game?
Describe it.
No, the name of the game that the new producer for Vanguard was part of.
I'm not sure what game he was part of, but I do know that Clamp made Code Geass.
Well, Clamp is handling the animation. I'm talking about the producer for Vanguard because he did something and I can't remember what the name of
Yeah,
it was.
I have
I'm
no
not good with
idea.
names. I'm not good with names.
1 second. I'm actually gonna look that up right now because now it's gonna bother me. But yeah, essentially this. Oh, Hearthstone. He was part of the team that made Hearthstone. So, and Hearthstone is still around. So I expect this to live for a while. And they did say that they don't plan on it, but nobody plans on stubbing their toe, but it still happens on rebooting the game again. So, fool me once, Bushy Road, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm gonna burn your company down.
We don't know what the future holds. All we can do is just see what happens and keep our fingers crossed. That's all that we can really do. I welcome overdress with open arms. I just hope they don't get power hungry like they did with the V era. Because I was all open arms with V era, but the amount of power creep that went on, and me playing me a Megaconi main and getting one support every year. There was one point it was literally a year and a half. Was just very sad, and I couldn't keep up with the game. That's why I stuck to premium because it was the only thing that I could keep up with.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna see what this game holds. We need to find out when the English releases are gonna be. Right now, the only thing I found is the earliest that trial decks start coming out. I think is early as mid-March or mid-April. I can't remember, and I really don't feel like going to look.
It's something like that's like March, April, or May, something like that.
And
are you guys talking about the releases for the trial decks? Because they come
for
out May 14th.
Oh, May 14th. Thank you.
May.
Yeah, and then Booster Set 1 comes out the April 17th, and then we don't get another. Yeah, and then after that, we get our Booster Set 2 in June 19th. So it looks like they're actually going to give us like a break and give our wallets a break. It's not every month of just pound town on our wallets. So
I do want to say that the one thing Bouchard needs to do is not keep promos to the OCG only. They need to give them to us.
Yeah, I think
because that hurt a lot of decks in the V series that had potential, that had major potential, but couldn't go off because we never got the promos.
Yeah,
or don't make promo staples.
Don't make them staples, or if you do bring them to the TCGs, don't make them box toppers like Stealth Millipede. Because I remember when Megaconi first came out, all my friends were like, how are you not winning? Megaconi's winning in Japan right now. I'm like, because I don't have Stealth Millipede, which makes the deck so much better and stops a lot of decks. Yeah. And then you have like the Claire Sword promo that if you have 7 grade 1s bound, it counts as 7 for the cleared effect. You got the Murakumo promo that didn't come out until the box toppers. There's just so many promos that are still locked in Japan that we will probably never see. And that's really frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But that's another topic for another time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, for listening to us ramble for the past 25 minutes about overdress. Hopefully, if you do like it, check out any of our Twitch and or YouTube channels that are going to be inside the description. Duke, Surya, you want to say anything?
Nothing other than give the game a chance, like me and Duke were saying. Please, please, please don't just blanket it or paintbrush it and be like, it's this, it's that. Try it. If you don't like it and quit, nobody's going to shit on you. But if you don't try it, people are not like going to take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, just give it a chance. And, as it was stated earlier, to buy a trial deck, it's only $4 or $5. You get a play set of everything. If you don't like it, it's only a couple bucks you lost. And choose your destiny on it, whether you want to quit or not, or just stick to a specific format that you like if you don't like the new overdress series.
All right, well, thanks again, guys, for listening. Hope you guys, wherever you are, whenever you are, you're taking care of yourself and each other.